Hey guys, I just wanted to upload my review of The Big Short. It stars starring Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Brad Pitt, and also Christian Bale. They basically play four investors, and it's basically like a biopic. It's based on a book by Michael Lewis about four investors who foresaw the economic collapse and the mortgage crisis in 2008, and it just talks about basically from I guess like early from like 2005 to like 2008 about how they essentially these four people, how I guess not these four, probably there's six people actually profited from the investment, and they basically all try to warn anybody who could have possibly stopped it about the financial crisis, but it all fell on deaf ears. It but either way, even though all these people profited from the crisis, and as a result, it did portray most of them in a sympathetic light, except for Ryan Gosling, since he was basically the narrator and the one who basically broke the fourth wall, explaining things. And it was basically this like black comedy with very like biting commentary, and with him being the narrator, he would be the one who would just segue into and here's such and such, like a celebrity cameo, to basically dumb down all of the terminology relating to subprime loans, and how Christian Bale's character, he played I think his name is Michael Burry. He was basically this like socially awkward investor. He's one of the people who created the credit default swap for allowing people to basically bet against the housing market, and he essentially profited for more than like 100% of the profits from investors. And basically, but again, these are people they were portrayed as reluctant to, most of them reluctant to like profit from this, considering like how there are all these people who like lost their homes during this time and their jobs. But it was also just biting commentary about how, basically greed and, all this like fraudulent business going on Wall Street, and basically different people's perspectives on the whole thing. You can kind of say that, you could say that basically I guess that the most sympathetic person was Mark Baum, played by Steve Carell, who was kind of like, he was kind of trying to be like the savior. He was trying to make things right and not wanting to screw people over and just to make a quick buck. And how he was basically conflicted between doing that and just being, and kind of essentially just suffering with going down with the ship, so to speak, and to whether or not to do the right thing or just profit, just to try to like save himself, every person for themselves kind of scenario. And I really enjoyed the movie. I can understand why it got the Golden Globe nominations that it did. It definitely had some great performances. It was directed by Adam McKay. Who directed Anchorman and Step Brothers and a number of Will Ferrell movies. I would say that these are also some of like the best performances from both like Christian Bale. He always like gets lost in his roles, and this was no different. As just like a eccentric investor who was like into like, socially awkward, into heavy metal. He's the guy who was kind of like wore like shorts and flip flops and t-shirt to work, and also this kind of, and Ryan Gosling is this like smooth talking like Bennett, one of the other investors, and of course Steve Carell in a very dramatic and also funny performance in which he played Mark Baum, because of the fact that he was somebody you can tell just had no filter, was very hot-headed and also very passionate, and also kind of like a social justice warrior. And there's also two other young investors who work with Brad Pitt's character, he's basically somebody who walked away from Wall Street because of all the BS, because of all the underhandedness of Wall Street, and pretty much most of them are like dismayed about about the financial collapse and how it's going to affect people's lives. And even though they walk away scot-free from it, and nobody really faces the consequences of their actions for all these fraudulent loans, there's still like it still portrays, and there's plenty of blame to go around between the investors, like the media, the people who were warned about it, and just kind of like a lot of negligence on people's parts about how this could have been prevented and how this affected our lives today. So it's definitely, I would definitely give it I said like 4.5 out of 5 stars, only because I think it was ran a little bit, it was a little bit long. It didn't need to be 2 hours long. Maybe it could have been like maybe like 90 minutes, but either way, it was very good performances, especially from the main cast, mostly from Marissa Tomei. Also had some cameos from Margot Robbie, and I just say this is definitely worth checking out if you want to understand the housing market, because like I said, they have celebrity cameos that really dumb it down for you and also give you more insight into what was going on as to what led up to this housing market, if you didn't, like, for anybody who didn't fully understand what was happening and wanted to get it from multiple people's point of view. So that's just my thoughts on those are just my thoughts on the movie. If I'm a movie, I will gonna have my Gotham overview up either tonight or tomorrow, either tonight or tomorrow, just because I only have a couple episodes left before I'm caught up. In the meantime, you can check out my other movie reviews playlist, as well as my trailer reactions, which included the Christmas trailer for Deadpool. Did you like the movie, guys? What are your thoughts on it? Leave it in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.